Yes, once again, I welcome you all in the next session
मैडम एक
of
क्यूरी थी मैम.
PhD coursework. Is it audible?
Sanju,
Am I audible to you?
your
Okay. Yes, I would like to welcome each and every person who are attending the session continuously. So I would like to introduce our eminent speaker of today. So Dr. Sunny Hassani sir, who completed his Bachelor of Science in Law, LLM, NET, PhD. Sir is a gold medalist in LLM, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Sir, recognized PhD guide of Law Department, KBCNMU Jalgaon, and 4 research scholar already working under Sir kind guidance. Sir delivered talks as a resource speaker in various national and international events. Sir won the Best Paper Award at the 2-day National Virtual Conference on Expanding Horizons of the New Consumer Law, Rules and Regulation in India. Sir, heartily welcome you in this session. Sir will be speaking on gamification in legal education and legal research. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, and heartily welcome you once again in this session.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. A very good evening to all of you. Dr. Payal Madam, the coordinator of this coursework, all the participants who are present in this coursework, please don't concentrate on my eyes as it's conjunctivitis all over. So I guess even technology can capture this disease to you also. Okay, my friends, I could not let myself keep out of this pre-PhD coursework because it is meant only for the students. And being a sufferer from conjunctivitis, still I decided to continue to be today here over this virtual platform. After discussing Dr. Payal Madam, she said you can put on your glasses and you can continue with your work. So anyhow,
Sir, your
my friends.
video is not working. I think we are not able to see you. So I don't
Is
know
it
whether
so?
you have switched it off. Yeah.
Fine, because I'm not looking on the screen. I'm not able to due to my eyes. So anyhow,
It's okay.
uh,
Fine, fine, sir. No issue.
if my screen is not visible, madam, I will send you the PPT. Can you share on my behalf then?
Yes, Padma madam, please take care of the PPT.
Okay, and anyone else who is not able to see me, or it's only file madam? Participants?
Visible, sir. Not visible, sir.
Okay, I am not
No,
visible.
sir, you're not visible. Sir.
Not visible, sir. Your camera is off, I think. Sunny sir, your camera is off.
Just a second. I will. Am I visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I am visible now.
No, sir, it's fine. Don't worry. We know that you are having conjunctivitis. So don't worry, sir. Just keep your camera off. No issues. We can continue with this.
Fine. No, but then I will need to share my PPT. So
Yeah, sir,
since
share
I'm not
it with us. My coordinator will take care of that. Just share it with me
fine.
or
let
Padma
let
madam.
me once try if PPT is visible to you, then no issues.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, is PPT visible to you now?
No, sir.
Uh, okay, then I will have to first send you the PPT and then start my presentation. Okay, simultaneously is gamification in legal education and legal research. Comparatively, it's a new one to you, but it's a new one to me as well. I have been working on this topic since few weeks, and something new I have brought for all of you today. And I guess it is going to help you out in your future, in your studies, in your research work. So, first of all, let me just cope up with the PPT. Madam, Payal ma'am, can I send the PPT on your WhatsApp
Yeah,
or you
sure.
need
It
it
will
in
work. It
email
will
ID?
work. Do send me, sir.
Fine. So, okay, I'll just do that first. So friends, gamification was I was talking about. We all play games and we are very fond of playing games. In our childhood days, we used to play the games on grounds, outdoor games, indoor games. But nowadays, the games are available on the mobile itself. So nowadays, gaming is not a big deal for each one of us. But still, there has to be some limitation on the gamification as well, because some games are meant for the education, but some games are not meant for the education, and that can be harmful. But today we will be talking only about the gamification, which is concerned with the education and especially legal education. Friends, as your pre-PhD coursework is about all about the technology and law, gamification is one such technology which is going to interest you, all of you, not in terms of just passing your time out, but also making a worthwhile when you insert that gamification in the field of education. My friends, I have four of them working in my guidance, and one of my research scholar is working on the topic digitalization, regarding privatization, regarding the privacy, all these aspects, and he in fact has a topic in that he in fact has the title with the word techno legal. So really, this area interests me, and when I talk about or when I search about anything about the gamification, it's my interest that I keep working on it, keep learning on it, and this is what today I thought to bring in front of you all. I discussed with Payal ma'am, Kulkarni sir about this, and they told us that not only sharing the content of this, but you will have to deliver the lecture as well. So this is some new experience for me as well. So let me just try with you all that I can cope up with this area of gamification in legal education and legal research. As I said you, it's a new one for me as well. Payal ma'am, I have just shared the PPT with you on the WhatsApp. Once you receive it, please let me know, and then we can start with the presentation.
Sir, yet to receive. I have not
Fine, fine.
received it.
Okay, now it's with you, I think. And to all the participants, the aspirants of PhD, I will like to appoint one of you from you all as a monitor of this class because I will be starting with some slides and some questions. So any one of you interested, you can raise hand over here, or you can self take a motive that you want to be a class teacher. Only you have to answer on behalf of all the participants whatever I ask, because I will be sharing some puzzles with you. I will be sharing some slides which has interesting questions and that you need to answer. So don't worry, have we have not kept any marks for either right or wrong answer. So it's not a question of worrying, to just make an interest to this lecture and taste your knowledge about the puzzles, about the games. I have prepared that slides. Madam, if you need, I can send on the email also, file ma'am.
No, no, sir. I have already shared it on email. It will start soon. I
Fine,
think
fine.
Padma madam is looking after it.
Okay.
Just so my screen is visible, participants?
Yes, it's
Yes,
visible.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Come to slide 3, madam.
Sir, yes.
Next one.
Yes, sir. Slide number 3.
This is fourth. Come to third.
Yes, sir. This is third.
Okay, fine. Now it's okay. So, my friends, technology is never young. I will start with this quote. And as I said you, I would like to ask some questions to the participants. And this is my the first question. What does this phrase means? Technology is never young. Can any one of you answer? Yes, you can unmute yourself and you can answer. Whatever you think about this phrase, you can answer.
So, this is Netra Dowda. So, technology is never young. I think it means that technology keeps on changing. So, every moment
Very good.
there is something new which is there in terms of technology. So, it's always something new which gets old very fast. So, technology is never young.
Okay, very good. Please, next slide.
Yes, sir.
So, friends, every now and then, this is the answer. Technology makes everyone feel old. A laptop is old after 2 years. Someone always has something newer. Everyone seems to feel absolute now, even the young. Nowadays, now see, for example, if you are thinking to buy an Apple mobile, so it has gone from right from Apple 1. So if I'm not wrong, it has gone up to Apple something 20 or 21. I don't know the exact number which Apple is now has launched over there. If you see, there are Redmi mobiles which says about Redmi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 15 it has come, 13 or 15 or so. So technology is never young. This is what we believe, and we should every now and then keep ourselves updated about the technology. Yes, madam. Next slide, please. Slide number 5. Okay. So participants, this is my question. Madam, you can you share this to the whole screen, because other slides are visible and students are getting answers by reading other slides
Yes,
also.
sir. Yes, sir. Just.
So puzzle will be no more a puzzle if students are already getting the answers. Okay, my friends, is it a murder or a suicide? You can carefully look over this puzzle or this screen or this picture and think twice before answering. and also you will have to give the reason why it is a murder if you think so, or if it is a suicide, why it is a suicide if you think so. Yes, can anyone?
Sir, it looks a murder.
Yes, sir. The
It
Fine,
room
fine.
looks like
One
a
at a
is
time,
not
one
suicide.
in
at a time.
order. The things
Sir,
in the room
is
looks not in order, and therefore it looks like it is not a suicide; it's murder.
Okay,
So we can see
what
in the
are the
picture
reasons
that
you will
there
give?
is a Baisakhi, which is there near the cupboard, the support which is required for
Sir,
him to
I
cap.
feel there is one reason. Two glasses are kept on the table. There were two people. Then there broke out a scuffle. That's why watch is laying on floor with broken glass. Some paper and pen is also there. And then that second fellow did something suspicious.
Okay, so this is the power of gamification, my friends. My object was not to test your knowledge, but my object was to keep you engaged, keep you interested. This is how technology, this is how gamification will will gain or will have a keen interest of the participants, of learners. My friends, you are absolutely right. It is a murder, and then you can implement evidence act over here. You can implement the sections of IPC over here. You can easily explain that how forensic technology can be used over here, how laws can be implemented, laws can be used, laws can be analyzed by creating this puzzle, by creating this picture. So this is what I am trying to convey to you all, that how gamification is going to be useful, especially in our legal education and legal research. To all the researchers, you can also make a research from this, that how our evidence act an analytical view can be created on our evidence act, on our IPC, and other laws which can be reflected through this picture. Madam, next slide please. Yes madam, next slide. You can make a slideshow, madam. Then you will have to just click on the arrow.
Just a minute.
Okay, so this is the answer. It's a murder. There are signs of struggle in the room as the clock is broken. Two water glasses in the room indicate the presence of two people, which also suggests that the killer is known to the victim. There are a book and a pen on the bed, which indicates that the dead person was reading, and a suicide note was written from another pen, which seems to be planted. The man crutches are too far from the man. So yes, some of you answered very well in this respect, and this is how we can analyze that it's a murder. Yes, madam. Next slide, please. Get it to number 7. Yes, make a slideshow. Madam, in the right side below there is a TV symbol. You can click on that TV symbol. Then we can start a screen slideshow of this PPT. Fine. Now my next question is, find the killer in the shop. You okay? You have come with the answer, no problem, on the screen. So previously the slide was okay. Okay, stick to this slide now. Friends, now you would be seeing on your screen what made Bond suspicious of the girl. James Bond was relaxing. Madam, please, previous slide. You have given the answer to the audience now. So probable solution is also appearing on your screen now. So madam, previous slide, please. Previous one, previous. Get you to number 9. Yes. So this is the picture where it has been asked that why while James Bond was relaxing, and this girl came into his room, and she was about to leave the room when the Bond takes out his pistol and asks the girl to stop. So what could be the reason? That the answer is given in the next slide, which all the participants have already read. So it is no use of asking you, madam. Next slide, please. Yes, take it to next one. So this is the probable solution. Bond was suspicious of the women, as one never knows. Okay, now let us come to the topic gamification. What does it actually means? So according to Carl M. Kapp, gamification is as using game-based mechanics, aesthetics, and game thinking to engage people, motivate action, promote learning, and solve problems. So far, whatever you have whatever you have experienced through my slides, you can see all these elements of gamification, definition of gamification. You can see this all elements you have experienced. I have been engaged, I have been able to engage the people, motivate your action, promote your learning, and of course there is a solution to the problems. So this is how gamification is defined. This is how gamification is powerful. Next slide, please. Okay, what are the advantages now? Gamification aims at increasing the use of game like elements and technology to track student progress, offering new ways of identifying the levels reached by the students, but also it offers myriads of ways to incentivize collaboration amongst the students instead of competition against one another. Therefore, instead of relying on technological effects to lure students into the learning process, gamification allows to create an environment conducive to interactions and better understanding of information. My friends, uh, uh, see, instead of competing with each other, if we are collaborating with each other, making a group a group into or a discussion group into a picture, that is more likely knowledge gaining rather than competing with each other. Of course games have the competitions, but that is the next level. The first level of gamification says that you should all apply your minds, because every game, whatever game you play, you will have to move your mind first. That is the first thing you will have to do while making a game or while playing a game. Yes, madam. Next slide. Okay, this is something interesting which I found on the internet. A thousand intellectual property rights is one of the game, which is a well-known game in USA, and it is a IP board game which is aimed at law students. It draws on well-known game rules to raise awareness to the complexities of IP issues in a lucid manner. Essentially, students are impersonating inventors at a science fair upon their arrival in the classroom. Set in teams around a board, each inventor has to answer cards in turn to progress with their pawn on the board. Figure is given below. If the student fails to answer the questions correctly, then he has to draw a card from the chance pile. Here, the team has to discuss and answer the question as a team to earn money for future ventures. Yet, be aware of industrial espionage. At any point, another team player can try to block a player's progress by posing a threat. The first player reaching the end of the board and the team having earned the most money wins the game. Again, if you look in this game, there is a teamwork, there is application of mind, there is a threat, and threat is caused by another team. So my friends, what I mean to say is gamification is all about the teamwork, and same is the gaining knowledge. You will have to acquire the knowledge by group discussions, by application of mind, by playing games with the help of one another, because individuality is something nowadays it is not going to work. You will have to apply your mind to make a group. You will have to listen before you can speak. You will have to learn something. You will have to gain something from others. Then only you can gain the knowledge. Yes, next slide please. Madam, take it to next. Okay, fine. Gamification and the law. This is how we are going to today relate the concept of gamification with the law. Now, see, of course, gamification is a buzzword, not in our country, but in Western countries. This is not something which is very new for students in our country. Maybe in this virtual class today, also some of you have maybe some of you have heard for the first time this gamification and law, this word. And to your knowledge, in our country only, uh, the National Law School of Advanced Studies, Kochi, has implemented the gamification in their syllabus. Only one university in our country has implemented the gamification aspect in our law syllabus. No other institute in our country has done this so far. So, this approach to learning involves incorporating elements of play and game design into the classroom experience to engage and motivate learners. Gamification has become increasingly popular in higher education as means of enhancing learner engagement and academic performance. Now, this is I'm talking about at international level, not in our country. In our country, still people are not knowing about the gamification and law, or gamification in legal education or any education. But in Western countries, this has become quite a common, you can say, area now, and they have gone far away to the most developed stages of gamification in education now, and we will be still starting this gamification and education. As I said, you Kochi has already started this initiative. Soon other universities, I have heard that Delhi University is soon going to think about the gamification in their syllabus, and they are working on it. Yes, madam, next slide please. Okay, how in a law school or a law college or maybe law institute, gamification can help. It can make lessons more interactive and memorable. Then it can lead to a better understanding of course material, improved academic performance. By incorporating elements of play and game design into the classroom, learners are more likely to be motivated, engaged, and active participants in their own learning. My friends, as my lecture started with the puzzle, with some of the slides which had queries, which had questions, uh, I got so many responses to my first 2 3 slides, because that is the power of gamification, that is the power of puzzle word, that is the power of this kind of technology, which can make learners more motivated, more engaged, more active, so that they can learn. As I said you, uh, for example, if I ask anyone that what is the famous dialogue of the movie Three Idiots, I'm sure that I am going to get at least 20 to 25 answers, or answer from 25 participants, because whatever we see, whatever we visualize, that is much more powerful than by just reading it out. So this is the power of technology. It can be easily memorized in our memory rather than reading just a simple book. Okay, next slide please. Okay, law profession and gamification. Now, let us talk about the law profession. Maybe it can be advocacy, it can be being a professor, being a law student. Uh, Yes, legal profession in Western countries beginning to use gamification to help lawyers satisfy their continuing professional development CPT requirements. Gamification based training promotes knowledge retention and productivity and enables lawyers to undertake their CPD using engaging and effective materials, thereby breathing new life into some otherwise dry topics. Incorporating game elements such as reward points and leaderboards can increase motivation and engagement with the subject matter, making gamification hugely beneficial when it comes to encouraging busy lawyers to undertake their CPT requirements. My friends, we all know that there are some dry topics in our legal education also. For example, uh, when I experienced teaching CPC in my class, a student in the canteen discussed that, sir, CPC is very dry subject, CPC is very boring. Then they find jurisprudence very boring. Some of the subject they find very interesting. Criminology, they say it's very interesting. So of course it is the way how you teach that is there. But still, being a law professor, I also admit that while teaching some subjects, I find really boring because their content is so dry. Nothing, nothing. What I can say, I cannot elaborate in what terms should I say. But this is how gamification can become powerful tool. Even in the dry topics, even in the dry subject, you can come out with very encouraging content, motivating content. And lawyers in foreign countries nowadays, or courts in the foreign countries nowadays, use puzzles, gamifications, or games which are helpful in solving the cases, investigations. Police also use the gamification method in their investigation so that they could get some idea, they could get some views, or they could get some different angles to their investigation. Because see, whenever, if I put a puzzle, there may be two or three answers and there may be 20 or 30 opinions as to what answer is a perfect for that puzzle or for that solution. So this is how it can help the police, this is how it can help the investigation machinery. Yes, next please. Okay, how means what type of gamification element we can introduce? This is already been introduced in foreign countries in their law schools. Point systems, so point system can be used to motivate learners. For example, learners might earn points for completing readings, participating in class discussion. See, for example, if I keep a paragraph, or if I keep a section or two on your screen, and then I say to the audience, to the class, that whoever will read out as fast as possible will get the points, or as quick as possible they are going to complete it will gain the points automatically in this game. So this is how we can motivate them, this is how we can we can engage them and motivate them to learn quickly, to take part in that. Because traditionally, if I say to a person that open your book and read out one paragraph, he or she might read out the paragraph, but it is not going to interest them, and it is also not going to interest the participants. But when I keep that paragraph on the screen, or when I keep a puzzle from that paragraph on the screen, and then I say to the audience that whoever will solve this puzzle as quickly as possible, as fast as possible, will get the point, and that point can be useful in their grades or marks, then obviously people will automatically automatically will be motivated to get a participation in that competition and then solve out. And also they could gain the knowledge from that paragraph, from that puzzle. They can apply their minds, they can search out what kind of sections are applicable to that puzzle, what kind of sections are applicable to that game, that particular slide. Yes, next please. Leaderboards, then there like point system, there can be a leader. One blackboard is a LMS which is used by institutions in USA. You can search on internet blackboards. They have really good kind of LMS system. These foreign countries, we are still very behind when as far as LMS are considered, most of the institutes are not having LMS at all. And for example, remote areas, still they are not aware about the LMS, though NAC has made it compulsory, but still that kind of that quality or kind of quality which LMS should have, the material contents which LMS should have, it is lacking in our country. But when you will check out this Blackboard, you will find that how advanced technological LMS board is this Blackboard, which can create a classroom with a leaderboard. Then there are then there is what can I say, every function and facility available, which is monitoring individually to each and every student through these LMS leaderboards. Yes, madam. Next. Yes, case summaries. Now, case study or case summaries are something very relevant to our legal education and very important as far as law student is concerned. If we are able to summarize any important court cases in very interactive way, so when you see, for example, you might have seen the movie called Rustam, which is featured by Akshay Kumar. A few years ago, Rustam was based on which case? If I can ask you, anyone, can anyone tell me?
KM
KM
Nanavati.
Nanavati.
M. Nanavati.
Yes, so see, this is the power of technology. When we put a case uh, as a movie, or when we put a case very interactively in front of audience, it is surely going to be memorized by each and everyone very quickly. So this is how case summaries, case important court cases can be prepared by making case summaries somewhat engaging, somewhat interactive, or highlighting the decision given by the court. If we can highlight through it in an interactive way, in an animated way, it can be remembered easily by the students. Yes, madam. Next, please. Okay, legal trivia. Now, trivia questions. Obviously, for example, when I talk about law of crime, that is Indian Penal Code, and in our question papers, we have, in our university question papers, we have pattern of.
हेलो हाँ कौन बोलता है
जी गुड इवनिंग मैम
हाँ गुड इवनिंग कौन बोल रहा है
जी मैं बोल रहा हूँ
Uh,
डॉक्टर
okay, so when I talk about IPC or law of crime in our syllabus, in our university pattern, we have one compulsory question of 20 marks, which is about solving the legal problems. And in that question, we put 5 questions which are asked from, you can say, over the different sections of IPC. For example, we ask a trivia question on section 302 murder, we ask on theft, maybe on rape, or maybe on robbery, maybe on dacoity, likewise. So legal trivias are really important when you apply your critical analytical angle to any section of IPC or any section of any law. So this will create application of mind to the students if we are creating the legal trivias. So educator could create a legal trivia where learners can earn points for correctly answering questions about various legal concepts and cases. Now, for example, when I started my lecture, in starting, if I could have put some marks on my puzzles, then obviously you all could have participated, and almost you all could have earned the marks. So this is how competition will automatically make you jump into the learning and then gain something, because no pain no gain, as it is said. Because when I announce in my class that, for example, I am going to ask you one question, and whoever is interested will give the answer, or who knows the answer will give the answer, and I will give you a treat. Still, many of will not participate. But when I make in the form of a game, when I give something which is useful to your education, then obviously people are going to participate. Yes, next please. Okay, legal research challenges. This is more connected to you because you being a PhD students, all of you. So legal research can be a challenge for law learners, but gamification make it more engaging and enjoyable. For example, learners might participate in a scavenger hunt easily created by using Microsoft Forms. So you can try today itself Microsoft Forms and scavenger hunt. You can this is one of the game. Likewise, you can create forms where they must find specific legal cases and statutes using online databases. Popular amongst the first year law educators and librarians, such games can help learners develop research skills and deepen their understanding of legal concepts. Now, my friends, one small example, I'm sure that everyone is using the Google Forms when as far as making a research is concerned. Nowadays, we share the Google Forms, we make queries, we make questionnaires, and we distribute to many of the WhatsApp groups, to all the academicians, and then we seek their responses through Google Forms. So this is also one of the kind of a game. Yeah, how easily a person can gain the information by using technology. This is this is the power of technology. Now, for example, you being a student of Nagpur University and you want some information from my North Maharashtra University side, you can easily, just within seconds, you can forward me the Google form. I will fill up the Google form. I will submit it to your email ID, and you can make a printout. You can make use of that Google form. So this is how powerful technology can become, and it is up to you that how you are using the technology. So, especially in legal research, technology is going to. I can assure you that technology is going to help you so much that your guide is the first guide and technology is the zero guide. That is ahead of the first guide. Zero is always ahead of number one, that you know. Nowadays you can just speak out on the laptop speaker, on the Google translator. You can scan and then convert into the editable text. This is how technology has gone so far away, and it is going to help you in your legal research, of course. Yes, next slide please. Yes, madam, next slide. Okay, non-accessible quizzes. Educators can create quizzes that include point system where learner can earn points for correct answers. This creates a sense of competition, motivate learners to study and perform better. Example, Kahoot and Quizlet, both of which have an option for free subscription. So all my dear students, you can note these two of the tools or two of the technological, what could I say, the quizzes platforms that you can use free of cost without any subscription, Kahoot and Quizlet. You can make quizzes, you can make questionnaires, and then you can circulate with your students or maybe with your stakeholders from whom you want to seek the information. Yes, next please. Escape rooms. Educators can create virtual escape rooms that challenge learners to use their knowledge of the relevant area of law to solve puzzles and escape the room. Escape means to keep yourself out or get out from that. See, there can be games where we can say that whoever is going to answer this question, this quiz, is soon going to get escape from this room. For example, if you are being a student, you are sitting in a classroom, you are giving your test, and the supervisor announces that whoever finishes the test, he can leave the room, he can escape the room. So this is how you can motivate the learners that as soon as possible you are going to apply your mind, give the test, you are going to soon escape these rooms. Okay, next. Okay, there are some strengths and weakness of gamification in legal higher education. Let us see that I sometimes experience a decrease in students' motivation and engagement in a traditional learning environment. Gamification allowed me to render the learning experience addictive for students. This change in behavior propelled students to the center of their learning process, enabling me as a teacher to have a better feel and control over what is happening in the classroom. Friends, sometimes you all know that we can be addictive to the games. If we use the games to the education and if a student gets addicted to that, I believe that this is in the positive sense. Because we are not playing that game for passing off out our time, but we are playing the game for gaining the knowledge, for learning. And if a student gets addicted to that learning, to that gaming, there is nothing harmful in that. So I can create or I can motivate the students. I can create a healthy environment of learning if I use the gamification in my teaching as well. Yes, next slide. Here are some weaknesses of gamification in legal education or legal higher education. Of course, the cost. Being a teacher or being an institute, being a college, if we talk about the entry cost of making gamification or implementing the gamification in our syllabus, it's not an easy task. Because, my friends, gamification in education is not like that you and me, people who are not very much aware about the technology or not the technical persons, can implement. We will have to take the help of the technical experts, of course, so that we are able to use the technology in that respect. So yes, cost is somewhere you can say matter of concern as far as gamification in legal higher education is concerned. Then gamified learning is complex and will most likely require adjustment to be made to the first attempt. Gamification is not everyone's cup of tea, I would say, because not everyone is expert in handling the what I can say technical devices or playing the games. Now, for example, my son is very expert in playing games on mobile. I am not. So this may be a generation gap, but I am not fond of playing the game. So that is why if a student is not able to play the game properly, that means his learning is going to be get affected. So, because of the nature of the legal education, the activities will need to be updated on a regular basis to mirror the legal development. So, this is another point of concern because law is dynamic, you all know. As the society changes, the law changes. So, keeping the law amendments up to date in the gamification, this is one of the challenge. And lastly, to the contrary, the change in behavior may be negative as it may lead to an increase of confusion and disengagement. Sometimes not everyone would like that game playing again and again, or a person or a student may be confused by that puzzle. So instead of learning, he may be demotivated or de-engaged from the learning, and that might be one of the demerit as well. Yes, madam, next. So, yes, madam, take it next level. Next one. Okay, so let us go to the conclusion of this topic. Uh, Stick to that conclusion, madam. Previous one. Previous one. This is the okay. So yes, if I get to conclude, come to the conclusion slide, ma'am. Next one, because I want to note the students to all these conclusion points. I may ask questions in your examination from this conclusion. So come to the conclusion slide, ma'am. The slide which has conclusion on its no, previous one, previous. Okay, fine. Let us stick to this slide now. So my friends, if you are able to relate the learning activity by providing meaning, or if you find the gamification in education as a meaningful device, then you can relate to it to your learning activity. Game will provide you challenges to overcome the similar to the challenges faced by students in higher education. Of course, it's not very simple as what I'm talking, but if technology is helping out to improve our education standards, we should definitely learn that education technology and make that technology useful, so that we can overcome the what I can say backwardness which our system has, especially higher education compared to Western countries. The change of behavior will only be positive if the gamified learning is adequately implemented. Therefore, these activities need to be carefully thought throughout, fully integrated with more conventional learning processes, and emphasize support instead of mere reward. Madam, you can stop the screen sharing, please, now. So, my friends, uh, actually, I was interested to highlight some IPR case study also, but sorry for that, I will not be able to do that because my eyes have now given up, and I cannot more look continuously to the screen now. Somehow I have been able to read out 20 to 25 slides, so please excuse me for that, but I have finished the main topic which I chose to deliver a lecture for you, that is gamification in legal education and research. One additional IPR case study I have brought for you that I have already shared with Payal ma'am. So she is an expert in IPR. Whenever she feels, she will share that slide with you, that particular part with you, and she can explain whatever I meant to share the knowledge about IPR case study through their slides. So once again, I will like to thank to the organizers for inviting me to deliver a talk to this lovely audience, to all the aspirants of PhD of the Nagpur University. And I am sure that all the participants must have enjoyed my lecture, and they could gain something new from today from this lecture itself. So thanks a lot once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Hasani sir. Thank you so much. And sorry for the disturbance. I was not knowing that my mic is unmute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion and views on the gamification. Thank you so much.
If participants having any kind of questions, yes, please put it in the chat box.
Or they can unmute yourself and
Yes,
ask.
yes. Yes, they can unmute their microphone and can ask the questions. Yes, here are few questions, sir. If you could see the chat box.
Yes, Ingoli sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, is there demo available on internet of gamification and log pedagogy? Okay. My dear friends, see, what you will have to do, you will have first, one thing you will have to first do is that you can go on the website of National Law of Advanced Studies, that is Kochi. I think they have implemented the gamification in their syllabus. I'm not sure about the demo, but you can, what I can say, the toolkits which I have given already to you, Kahoot and one more tool, and 1,000 intellectual rights. That IP board game you can check on the internet. I'm sure you are going to get some information from that. Yes, any other question? Okay, sir, technology is dynamic in, okay, that is the previous answer you have given. Okay, any other question?
Sir, I had a question. Uh,
Yes, please.
myself, Navjot. So, I mean, you've mentioned about gamification. It's a good model, but how? But as of now, as you mentioned, that there are two, Kahoot and Quizlet. So, otherwise, like, what else do you propose? Like, when there are case laws, Kahoot and Quizlet are more like case laws. Sorry, quizzes type based. But what do you think when you say about like presenting a case law in a gamification manner? What could be the other ways? Also, when we say that every technology has its pros and cons, don't you think gamification will again increase the screen presence of the students? Well, we are already facing that with kids, but addiction and screen presence of students, won't that increase with gamification? And it will lead to health issues maybe.
Yes, see, Navjot ma'am, the question here comes is how you are first of all, what is the base, what is the platform, how you are going to implement, from where you will get the sources or where you will get the technology, and at what level or what extent you are going to implement, right? So
Yes.
see, the problem is that as I said in my lecture, that it is not the work to be done by the people like you and me. It will require the dedicated technical person who can create a visual or who can create a virtual games, or who can create a full-fledged games which are only meant for law sections or law puzzles or law case laws. Uh, uh, the National Law University at Kochi, they have taken the help of some foreign investors and some foreign agencies, and they have implemented in their syllabus in some of the subjects, not all of the. Like for example, if we consider about IPC and other procedural laws, where we can, not for the every section, but for important sections, or or showing the importance of IPC to the students, there we can create the games. Of course, you are saying that screen time will be increased. That problem already our kids are having, and I'm not of that actually view that we should be stick to the screen whole time. But technology is there, we can definitely make use of that technology, not to the extent that it is going to harm us, or it is going to demotivate us. But for whatever learning, if we are able to cope up with the technology, we can use that technology.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a one question. I
Yes,
would
please tell.
like to ask, sir, is it any dark side to gamification?
Sorry, I could not hear that. Please repeat your
Sir,
question.
is it any dark side of gamification?
Dark side, I have
Especially,
already told you now. Mrs. Navjot also told that screen time will be increased. Then there may be an addiction to the game. These are the see, every technology has some pros and cons. So dark side is that screen time may be increased, and it can lead to a confusion. As I said, you not everyone is expert in the game. But then again, see, for example, using the mobile is very harmful. But some people are strict. Some people are stuck to such a profession that they have no other option. They are using the mobile whole day. So not in that way, but if we can use the technology in very adaptable manner, which is not going to harm ourselves, to that much I feel that we can use the technology. Otherwise, of course, it has a dark side. As I said, you it can it's not a cup of everyone tea, because not everyone is expert in playing game, and not, for example, in our country, not everyone is able to purchase that kind of technology. For example, in our college, my college is in a tribal area. My students are not able to pay the basic fees of our college. So when in these circumstances, when I expect them to have a Android mobile in their hand or a laptop with good technology, and then they answer my questions on being online on the laptop, this is what I cannot expect from a student living in a tribal area. But just to give all you persons an idea about this new concept, that gamification can be used in our legal education, but so far that reality is looking only for the institutes like national law and IITs, because where they have ample amount of fees, good amount of fees which they take from the students. But in our the traditional colleges like mine college, I don't think we will be able to implement that technological aspect or gamification in my syllabus or in our syllabus due to these cost constraints. So these are the some of dark side. Yes. Yes. Anyone else?
Hello, sir. So this is Netra Davda. So in furtherance to the previous question asked, the dark side of the
Sir, excuse me.
gamification.
Sir,
Yes. Please tell me, sir.
Sir, please one by one, sir. Ingone, sir. Let Netra ask.
Yes, sir. Yes,
huh?
sir. So, in furtherance to the previous question asked, I was trying to understand related to the dark side of the gamification. So, while we were discussing about the different aspects of gamification, one thing which is very much important to be noticed, that while we are talking about the young children, those who have enrolled into the law courses, and when we discuss about discussing a subject in the form of a gamification, when there are certain games which are usually we have seen when we are kids are playing the game, there are some obscene advertisements or some obscene stuff which keeps on popping in between the games and other things which we
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got
look
it.
into
I
the
got
regular
it.
basis. Yes, sir.
See, Nitra. The point is, it is expected that if you are implementing the gamification in the education, that institute has to take the help of technical team, and they are going to create a game in their education. It is not like that, which is already a platform available, a technological platform which is already available, and we are putting our education into that platform. It is not case like that. That will be whole and sole responsibility and the property of the institute. So whatever you are saying, that is on the general content of the technology. I was not talking about the general content of the technology. The technology will be specifically and specially used for that institute only. So this kind of question, that obscene material and pop-ups and all like this, it has not no relevance over here. Like for example, there is software examination software of the universities. Do you get advertisement while attempting a paper, online paper? Do you get the advertisement over there?
No, no, sir. Actually, that was not in the relevance to the lecture what we have discussed
Yeah,
right
okay,
now.
okay,
But in
I got
general,
it.
this was
But
a
see,
question.
that is what I was saying. That what foreign countries, especially America, what USA has done, that they have trained the law professors how to make games or small puzzles which are really easily makeable on our laptop. You and all, me also can make such kind of puzzles. So not up to the extreme level of technology is expected from a person like you or me, but at least we can create some good puzzles. We can create some good quizzes, some small games which can be relevant in our legal education.
Okay. Participants, I
Right,
think
sir. Thank you, sir.
My friends, my idea was to give you just an idea that this is something, a new concept which has come, gamification in legal education. I am not totally against this concept, and I am not totally favoring this concept. So this is not something which I am expert about, but I wanted to give some information to all the participants that this is how foreign countries have started some new technological implementation in their legal education, and even judges and lawyers are using the technology. My friends, you might not be knowing that in USA hardly a lawyer visits the court premises because they have online hearings. The suitcases, the briefcases, the documents, all the things are digital over there. In our country still the lawyers carry their big bags. They have hundreds and thousands of documents in their briefs. They carry that document to the court premises, and then they argue in front of judges. So this has gone. This is I am talking about 25 years ago, which was going there in USA, but in our country we still are stuck to the traditional values and traditional methods. So just I wanted to highlight you all in front of you that how gamification is also one of the concept which has gone far premises in foreign countries. This does not mean that I am criticizing my country or our traditional pattern, but I wanted to just make you aware, all of you, that how we can think out of the box, out of the context, and when we can, if we are getting the technology, why we should not use that technology. My friends, yesterday I read the news that China has invented one TV which is transparent. Now see how far technology has gone. China has brought one TV which is transparent TV, and that is 5,50,000 of our Indian currency. So this is how technology can be used. Okay.
thank you so much for your knowledge and expertise, sir. Actually, Pal madams, there is no internet connection, so that's why she is not able to join the meeting. So
Yeah,
on
no
behalf
issue. No issues.
Postgraduate Teaching Department of Law, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Hassani, sir, who shares his valuable time with us and his knowledge and expertise on such a unique and new topic, gamification. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you to all the participants. You can contact
Thank
me
you so
anytime.
much.
I have
Thank you
all
so
the
much,
contact
sir.
details with Fileman. So it was nice talking to you, all of you. Best of luck for your PhD by delivering lecture in front of you all. Today I remembered my days of PhD. We attended the classes offline at that time. You have got the privilege to be at your places and attend the PhD classes. So this is again one of the example why technology is very useful. So yes, once again, thanks a lot to everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.